Hey guys, wanted to make you this quick video just to help guide you on what's going on with some of the questions in the worksheet, just to make sure it's clear for you, so that you get the chance to try all these before we meet when this is due. So on the very first problem, real similar to the last video that we did of the chapter, you are looking at a cumulative frequency graph, and then you got to respond to these 4 questions that you see right down here below. Do keep in mind that the way we get this information is if you look at this, the highest value gives us a frequency of 40. So that means there was 40 terms or 40 items within this list of data. So when they say find the median, remember the median would be the middle value. So what's the middle of 0 to 40? Right? So 20 is where we will get the median. So I need to trace this over and down to estimate the median. Q1 means I need to take 25% of my total. So 25% of 40 is 10. So I would have to trace that over and down to get Q1, 75% and 60%. Okay, and so you're doing that for those 4 questions. Because the lines on this graph did not come through very clear, I did take a closer view shot of this right here. So I'm hoping you'll be able to look at this one a little better and maybe answer those questions. So here's just a bigger view of that graph. The lines came through a little better, so I'm hoping this will help in answering. I know the scale on this is kind of funky, so just do your best. When you go to give these answers, you're having to estimate a little. So like if I was doing the median at 20, and I'm going to trace that over right about here and down, do your best to follow those lines. So I'm getting right about here for my median, and they are counting by, it looks like 0.2. So I believe this is like 27.5, or sorry, 25.5, 25.7. Let's see if this works. 25.9, 30.1, 30.3, 30.5. So it looks like that's about the scale they're using. So this one's pretty weird, but I wanted you to see this because if you don't always consider the scale for exactly what they're trying to tell you, it is very easy to get this wrong on a test. So be careful in interpreting the scale. Going down to this one, again, they're giving you the graph. There are 600 trees total. That's why the highest point is 600. So everything is going to be based on that number. And you're going to go on to answer these questions right here. So again, you got to find the median from the graph, the interquartile range from the graph. So again, we explained all that stuff in our last video that we did for this chapter. So give those guys a shot. You are using, notice this is question 3 continued. So you are using this information to make a box and whisker plot right here. Okay, and so you need your answers from the previous page, as well as this piece of information and this piece of information. So between what is said in this paragraph and the answers that you got right here, that's going to give you the 5 data points that you need in order to make your box and whisker plot right here. So that's kind of how all that goes if you put it all together. And then I did tack on 2 extra questions that I want you to answer based on your box and whisker plot, because these are similar test questions right here. So I wanted to give you a shot at these. Okay, so use your box and whisker plot, not anything else. Okay, so just using your box and whisker plot only, answer these 2 questions. For the last part, again, you're given another graph. The highest value is 120. You are doing things on this graph. You're answering them on this page. Okay, so the things that you are filling out on this page, all of this is based on this graph. Okay, so make sure you see that. Just to give you a little guidance on how to fill this top chart out. From 0 to 20, how many terms were in 0 to 20? So if I look at the graph, here's 0 to 20. So here's my frequencies. Notice that my first point was 0, 0. And as I go all the way up to 20, now my frequency is at 14. So from 0 to 20, my frequency is from 0 to 14, which is why On this page, they're telling you that your frequency is 14. If you did that for this one, so what about from 20 to 40? So from 20, so 20 starts at 14 and goes all the way up to 40. So how many terms do we have if we go from the 14th term to the 40th term? Well, if you subtract, that would tell you that there are 26 items within that group. So that's where they're getting the 26. So I'll give you one more and I'll let you do the last two. So if we did from 40 to 60, so 40 starts at 40 and ends at, looks like 98. So if 98 is my highest and 40 is my lowest, how many terms are in that group, right? And if you subtract 98 minus 40, that tells you there are 58 elements or items within that group. Okay, and so that's what we would fill into this guy right here. So then keep on going. These are all test questions. I put these in here intentionally to help prepare you for some questions you'll be asked on the test. So please give all these guys a shot. And then I did include the answers, so you can take a look at those, see if you got them right, and we'll be going over this together in class.